Adventures of Ricky Deen is an idea and a concept I developed while I was studying film in New York. That was back in, I think, 1994, as far as I remember. Then, once I had this idea, I invited my friend. I used to do a lot of things with Oname and my friend those days, and I invited Oname, saying, "Oname, let's try this," and she was fantastic. I mean, she's a very highly creative individual, and she came and shaped a few things differently, and she even called it, instead of Adventures of Ricky Deen, she called it Adventures of Dean Newton. And yeah, it was nice. And then she added the the two characters. Actually, it's one character, but two two same guy two times, and that's the two heavies. Palita Silva is doing it right now as the two heavies, and she shaped the story in an interesting way, and we started working together on it. And anyway, it sort of sat there for the last, I don't know, since 94 till 2013, when Lakshman came along, and I said, he's my dear friend, composer. And he said, "Hey, Boodee, I have an interesting idea for you. I'm doing this thing with Goethe Institute, and I would like you to do a film for the music pieces that he has chosen. His Chamber Music Society of Colombo will be playing live for those few music pieces that he gave me, and I would have to make a film to fit those pieces." And there were some Schumann and Beethoven music pieces, and I loved it, and I said, "Yeah, that's great, Lakshman. I'd love to do that." And I didn't realize it was a huge challenge, because I thought it was not that hard, but so I was like, "Hey, yeah, let's do it." And then he said, "Hey, why don't you do it on iPhone?" I was like, that's pretty cool. That's even challenging. I mean, I love challenges. I mean, that's probably why I have a great respect for maestro like Terry Gilliam, and he's crazy, but he does very interesting stuff and brilliant stuff. Anyway, me being myself, and I said, "Okay, let's do this." And moment I heard the music tracks, and I was like, "My God, this is Ricky Deen. This got to be Ricky Deen." And it took me back to Manhattan, New York City, and I was like, "Whoa, you know, I mean, you can't, you can't just let it go, because this is the perfect music for that." And then I'm like, "Hey, but that's a feature plot we were developing, and myself and Norman, and now this is a short film." And I said, "Hey, hang on, okay, let's do a short film." And I called Oname, and back in the city in New York, and we had a talk, and we spoke to each other a few times, and I said, "Hey, let's do this short film." And she was like, "Okay, we got to do some modifications," and I kind of liked what she did, and we started working on it. And I spoke to a bunch of friends, young filmmakers. My DP is a young filmmaker, and Ilham, my editor, and my other editor, Udara, both of them, and everybody's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And so I went and started casting, and I mean, I couldn't think anybody other than Mahendra to play Ricky Deen. I mean, originally it was supposed to be my friend Rick Rodeen. That's why the Ricky Deen is there, because Rick Rodeen's name is Ricky Deen is pretty much sounding like that, and in a way. And when I was trying to do it with Rick in New York, I mean, Rick is more. I mean, he didn't want to act in it really at that time, and plus I didn't know how to do the whole thing, because VFX. I mean, there's a lot of VFX, and it's very hard to do something like that at those days, in the early '90s. And now I have my own company, Elephant and the Mouse, and I can do my VFX with my guys, and it's easy. So so what happened was that we decided to start shooting, and little by little, I mean, knowing me and doing crazy things, I'm like, uh, you know, the projects start getting heavier and heavier, and I mean, this we had in mind for 10 minutes, and then in the end, with everything, it was like 40 minutes, and now the project has gotten heavier, the works have gotten heavier, and VFX has gotten heavier. So unfortunately, I mean, we couldn't make it for the. We made it, but we couldn't make it on time, and it was half baked, half done. I mean, at the Goethe Institute, I think everybody was upset. I mean, Lakshman was very upset. I mean, I was upset at myself, and everybody was upset at everybody, and it was sad. It just couldn't work out at that point. And then I kept. I promised to myself, I mean, I'm going to re-edit this, and do the whole thing, and probably talk to Lakshman and try to convince him. I mean, I'll have to convince him. I don't know if he'll go for it, but I'll have to convince him to, because the original idea, like I said, to play the movie and play music in the background live. So that'd be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to. Hopefully, he would do it. So, meantime, the film became like 40 minutes, and it obviously became a feature. I mean, now we're like, hey, it's gonna be a feature. I mean, we looked at it. Now it's like, this is the feature. I mean, this is back to the roots of Ricky Deen, and I've been talking to Oname lately, and we are hoping that we want to get it off the ground as a feature now. And Mahendra loves it, and he loves it, the character, and I think everybody is very pleased with what's happening, and everybody wants to do a feature out of it. Palita Silva to Dasun to Darshan Dharmaraj to everyone, and so me being crazy, I'm like, hey, let's try and do some 3D. Everybody's, oh, Boodee, let's try to get this out of the way. I mean, let's shoot this, okay? I mean, chill on 3D right now. So anyway, so Ricky Deen is going to be a feature now.